Brandon D'Alamonte with the City of Pittsburgh's Office of Special Events. And in this final video, Charlene's going to fill us in on the Carnegie Museum of Art's Teenie Harris display entitled In Sharp Focus. The idea behind this Black History Month event was that people could follow us at PGH Events Office and see this content online, or also come downtown City County Building in person and see a display that was more about Teenie's personal life, which is why our display is called Teenie Harris, the Man Behind the Lens. So the second part of this event is really what's taking place at the Carnegie Museum of Art's Scaife Galleries in their exhibit, where you can get the other half of the story, including Teenie Harris's work for the Courier and some of the other great shots he got throughout the community in Pittsburgh. So Charlene, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the museum's display and what exactly people might be able to see and find down there?
This is an exciting moment for us. We have a dedicated gallery in the Scaife Galleries to Teenie Harris. And with so many photos, we wanted to take a fresh approach to the archive. We've had large shows in the past. We've had smaller shows or exhibitions, I should say. But how do you explain 80,000 dynamic photos? And just as a reminder, you can see all the images we have. We have about 60-some thousand online at all times on our website. And if you Google Teenie Harris or Google the Carnegie, you'll come to the website. So you can see them that way, but in terms of in the gallery, there's nothing more dynamic than seeing them framed and grouped in special ways. So what do? How do we start the conversation in Scaife Galleries? So we decided to use an anchor statement by the famous historian and genealogist, Dr. Henry Louis Gates Jr., because he says that if there are 42 million African Americans, then there are 42 million ways to be Black in America. And that's exactly what Teenie does. He explains the various ways that the African American community existed for the 40-year span that he shot. We broke that big subject down to 3 subjects of kind of points of view, asking the viewers to not just enjoy what they're looking at, but to look beyond the obvious. So we're talking about intersectional identities, access and opportunity, and societal networks of being Black. And so there are 3 sections of ideas. And like I said, we have the photo of someone who was born in slavery, talking to some young girls. So how significant is that? What an impactful shot that is. It's just a beautiful image, period. But then when you realize that this woman was born in slavery, how does that make you feel about what you're looking at? Or photos of an African-American woman who is running her own laboratory in the University of Pittsburgh in the late 50s, early 60s. A woman and a Black woman at Pitt. It's just incredible. Or the LGBTQ community photography, beautiful images of entertainers and whatnot in process or in Teenie's gallery. We have soldiers, and we have the fraternities and sororities and social clubs, which may seem like, oh, that's nice, but do you understand the significance of these groups and how they've kept the society going, how they've sustained each other, and how they've trained people how to make it in a business, let's say, or in getting through school or whatnot. And then we have a photo like Little Boxer Boy, where he's just the cutest little guy in the world, and he's in a boxing ring, and he can't be more than 6 years old, and his gloves are bigger than his head. Yeah. And so, but there's a little tear running down his face, and you're like, yeah. What's that about? So we encourage people to come to the gallery to really see these images in their full production, and to be able to see the bands and the musicians and the instruments, and one of our own, Billy Eckstein, and Sarah Vaughn, and to really see clearly some very interesting stuff that's going on the stage. Not too many people captured that kind of look back in the day. Teenie's obviously above, so he can see all of that. He can see what the musicians are doing, how they're standing, not just a full-on shot. We have this same event in different directions. And that's what we want people to do, is to experience things and to enjoy them for whatever way it hits you, but to maybe also look beyond what seems obvious in the photo. And again, we hope people are doing that in the comfort of their own homes, looking online as well.
All right. Thanks, Charlene.
This is wonderful. And I just want to say thank you so much for highlighting Teenie. He is a true American icon and hero to explain history. So thank you so much.
Well, we couldn't do it without you. So thank you for, offering up your expansive knowledge on the topic. And, we couldn't do it without the museum, but I think having someone like you who's really truly tied into the history makes it that much better.
And we're happy to work with the community. We in gallery, we can do tours, and we can do events and outreach events, and we can explain a lot of this. If people are more interested, we can have some one-on-one sessions. So people are welcome to contact us here.
And again, the display that Charlene and myself are referring to is an in-person display that you can see in downtown Pittsburgh at the City County Building. You can also follow us at PGH Events Office on Facebook and Twitter, where we'll be releasing content all month long, including videos and more interviews with Charlene, as well as photos from the Teenie Harris Archives. And if you have any questions about the display, feel free to reach out at PGH Events Office. And we also encourage you to visit the Carnegie Museum of Art's Teenie Harris display entitled In Sharp Focus, where you get the other half of the story about the work that Teenie Harris did in the community. So Charlene, if anyone has questions about the Carnegie Museum of Art display, what's the best way to reach you?
You can always contact the museum and ask for the Teenie Harris office. That's where I'll be. My phone number is 412-622-1012 for my direct line. And I think we'll add my email so you can see it. It's a long one, so we'll write it out for you. But yeah, just contact the museum, and we're happy to work with you in any way we can.
All right, Charlene, thanks so much.
Thank you, Brandon.